Talking about the D2C channel itself, I think it's a great platform where the brands get then access to directly connect with the consumer. It helps us launch new products,
Mm-hmm.
do some small testing of the products as well, where you can understand how the product will actually eventually work out in the larger arena per se. Because today's world is all about being omni-channel present. Not only through your D2C website, you have to be available across multiple touch points wherever you can test the consumer.
Important.
So D2C becomes one of the important play in that role as well. And because D2C is completely owned by you, it gives you the flexibility to give samples to customer, send mailers to customer, try out new products, get their testimonial and everything.
Happilo also launched a physical store in October 22. How has it panned out for you? And what really is the trend like? What do you see going forward?
So we got great response from our retail store. We today have 4 retail stores. We opened 4 stores in the last 4 months, and
Mm-hmm.
we plan to extend to 4 more stores in the month of March. So by the end
Mm-hmm.
of March, we're looking like we'll be having 8 or 9 stores of our own across. Largely, it is in metropolitan cities. Uh, our experience where has been fantastic. We get a lot of feedback from the customers and a lot of love from the customers, and also the advantage is that you again get to interact with customer, like how you have D2C website, you
Mm.
similarly have a your own EBO store. You can
Mm.
actually directly talk to the customer,
Of
and
course.
when customer comes to your store, experiences the products, it's basically you're offering a brand experience to him.
Mm.
And as I told you, the concept of being omni-channel is very important.
Mm.
So this actually helps us in a way to connect the customer in multiple phases of life. And for example, now currently our stores are based out of malls. So whenever customer is actually in the mall, it's easy for him to connect to the store as well. And
Mm.
also he can do a lot of customization in terms of gifting, in terms of hamper creation, in terms of product sampling, testing, feedbacks, and all. So it provides a great platform. And we've also launched something called as Happilo Cafe with our stores. We basically provide dry fruit and related shakes, which are
Mm-hmm.
actually vegan as well. So we have
Okay.
also extension and market where we use almond milk and dry fruits to give vegan shake options to the consumer, which is again very
Okay.
healthy and very nutritious as well.
Good to know. Good to know. Is this a separate product line you are looking at to launch,
No,
or
basically it is in the store we have made a small provision where we can actually
okay?
help the customer try out our own dry fruit products with the almond milk and make it a vegan shake for themselves. We also have a dairy option also, but we also promote the non-dairy option using almond milk.
Good to know. Good to know. So it's a great gestures for customers to welcome them into
Yes,
the
yes.
store
In
and
fact,
let them try.
people are looking for dry fruit milkshakes and dry fruit vegan shakes for that matter, right? It's not easily available in the market. So for us, we want to stand for everything dry fruits. That's the mindset what we have. We want to own that space that Happilo is equal to dry fruits.
Good to know. Now, tell us what has been your way since this started, and what is now your focus area in terms of balancing your marketing cost as well as your product innovation, if I can say.
See, the CAC is always increasing because what happens is in a market like food, the average selling price is actually lower.
Hmm.
In a cosmetics, typically you tend to spend like 1,000 rupees upwards for a category where you are buying a lipstick or a shampoo or a moisturizer. But typically in a food company, the average ticket price is typically in the range of 500 to 600 rupees. So the CAC is always higher. That is one of the problems with the industry. But to solve that problem, we actually introduce a lot of combos, and we try to ensure that people buy large packs. That's how we try. And more than that, we always focusing on building brand rather than attracting customers through performance marketing. We always spend on ATL. You will have seen that last year we were the title sponsor for Rajasthan Royals, and we have Kiera Advani and Siddharth as brand ambassadors. So for us, it is all about building brand and actually focusing on acquiring a customer. So we believe that when the brand is built, automatically you will get the customers to come to your website, come to your store, or also organically buy from across the marketplaces and retail stores. For the customer, if you look at only the store matrix, it might not look very good. But what
Hmm.
happens is when the customer comes to the store, he
Hmm.
eventually come for one product. He comes to one product, but he ends up buying a big basket from you. So end of
Lovely.
the day, your cost of acquiring the customer is very low because
Huh.
in the high streets or malls, you already have customers coming there. So they are not actually coming to for Happilo itself. They're actually already there, and that's the advantage of opening a store in
malls.
Yeah. So because you don't have to acquire a customer, you basically have to have a good basically you don't have a good product line where the customer can actually come to the store, try the product and buy the product. I think the biggest acquisition for us is by doing sampling. But we don't spend any cost for the getting the customer to the store. Unlike in the website, in the D2C website, you have to actually spend money on Facebook and Instagram so that the customer can come to the store. But in terms of mall, that's not true. Where the customer is already there in the mall, you need to have a good offering and good sampling practices and good gesture, and you have to make the customer feel good at the store. So I think he'll be keeping coming again and again. So the LTV of the customer is very high. The lifetime value of the customer, once he comes to the store, he likes the store, then the LTV is very high.
And to my understanding, that is because the brand value you have already built. Yeah. So the power behind building a brand is much more respected in terms of having recurring customers, to be it your stores, be it your websites, be it your e-commerce sales. Give us a sense of proportion of your revenue. What comes from stores? What comes your website only? What are the most prominent products you sell, purchase? What is the proposition of your revenue looks like?
No. See, currently we are largely a tier one city brand today. Largely we are there in the top 10 in India. We are planning to expand to multiple other regions also. So largely, if you talk about the revenue split, around 60% comes from e-commerce or online business per se. Around 35-40% comes from offline business per se.
Okay.
Yeah. And largely, if you talk about stores and D2C, we never focused on them as a revenue mechanism as such till today. It's largely branding. Around 10% of the revenue comes from the D2C side of the business.
For the brand.
See, I come from a very humble background. My father was actually a farmer. He used to grow a lot of coffee and pepper in a small called as Sakleshpur. That's around 200 kilometers from Bangalore. So I had my childhood there. My upbringing was in Sakleshpur. So for higher education, I shifted to Bangalore. And that's how the things began. So I have a lot of experience before I started Happilo. I 3 years of import-export of spices. I did a 2-year MBA after that in SMHRD Pune in marketing. Then I founded a retail chain for 5 years. So I was running for 5 years. That's what again, gourmet retail, selling a lot of aspirational products. Then I did distribution for 1.5-2 years to learn about how the SAP works. Then after that, Happilo launched. So it looks easy, but I think I have good 15-17 years of experience in food itself. So that makes, that I make lesser mistakes now. Right? It says that I started the business with 10,000 rupees and built a business for 500 crores. So that's how the story is. And because see, when I started, I didn't actually have much money. I didn't depend on any family support or any money from somebody else. I actually started with my own savings of 10,000 rupees only. And actually, my wife gave me a loan of 20 lakhs. So that's how the journey started. And I repaid the loan to her in a year's time, and then took some government loan called as CGT MSE. That was around approximately 75 lakh rupees what I took. So that's how the journey began. And we started very small with 1 or 2 employees. Today, our strength is more than 650 employees. And we are one of the strongest brand in the category. And we also look to expand globally as well. We not only want to be the biggest brand in India, but we also want to be a global brand.
I must wish you all the very best for your aspirations and plans. In February 2022, you secured a funding of 25 million, if I'm not wrong. What are the areas you deployed this capital to? And what is your next plan for next funding?
See, we have deployed largely the capital towards marketing and up our factory because we have a world-class factory set up in the outskirts of Bangalore, which can be compared to any food processing plant in India or across the world. And in terms of other money, what we have spent largely on marketing, basically we invested in building the brand. Might be investing in IPL towards Rajasthan Royals central sponsorship, or maybe towards hiring Kiara and Siddharth as our brand ambassadors. They recently got married as well. And not only that, even in terms of doing a lot of ATL ads across all the GEC channels. So our largely focus was to build brand. We also did a lot of digital integration with Moving with Malaika and things like that. So overall, we were very active in terms of brand building, and that's how a lot of capital is being used.
And in terms of numbers as well, where does the brand stand right now, and what are your projections for next year?
See, in terms of what you can expect new from the from brand is a lot of new products.
Good.
We have a great R&D center. We churn out a lot of new products. For example, recently we have launched something called as dry fruit bars, which is first in India. We only use dry fruits as an ingredient, and no added sugar and no cholesterol, no trans fat, no preservatives. So it's a fantastic product. It's actually very tasty as well, and even a 8-year-old consumer can actually, a kid can also eat the product because it doesn't contain any whey protein. It has all the natural proteins in it, natural fiber, and the taste also comes naturally with the sweetness of dates and cashews and things like that. So overall, and we have also built something called as almond brittle. We have dry fruit burfis and a lot of products we have which are actually made of completely dry fruits. So as I told earlier, we use dry fruit as a primary ingredient in all our recipes because we want to keep that healthy snacking going and healthy snacking through the dry fruit as an ingredient option. So largely most of the products what we do, we always try to use dry fruit as a main ingredient, and we want people to eat more dry fruits and nuts so that they can be healthy and also build on immunity as well. Today, when you go to a market and you want to drink a milkshake or a juice for that matter, a lot of product comes with a lot of added sugar into it. The USP what we follow is in the dry fruit milkshake, even what we sell in the store, we don't add any sugar. The natural sweetness comes from the dry fruit itself. So that's what we're able to do. We always want to promote people who want to eat less sugar or no sugar. Most of the products what we do are always conscious of the amount of sugar it contains, right? So, and we want people to eat healthy. So we try to dry fruit bar, for example, we have zero added sugar and comes with the goodness of dates and cashews and almonds and things like that. So the motive for us as a brand is to sell products which are healthier for you and which you can actually consume at multiple time zones in the day. Like you can consume at an 8 p.m. With your breakfast, or as a 4 p.m. snack, or as an 8 p.m. Snack as well with your cocktail. So for us, it is about capturing different time zones of the day and also to target different age groups while they're trying to eat healthier options. Which taste good. See, the D2C e-commerce is at a record-breaking peak itself.
That's right.
Any brands trying to seize the opportunity to communicate to the consumers directly. So consumers nowadays prefer a personalized experience of buying products from the comfort. They want to sit at home and buy, and because in the pandemic they have got used to buying on the digital mediums. As a D2C, brands like Happilo, we provide a best of both worlds, right? We are both digital and we are also available in multiple stores, and also we have our own store as well. So, the D2C typically, basically, many brands start as a own website first approach, and a lot of brands actually now have become an omni-channel present. Can you talk about the niches of maybe somebody evolving and selecting a particular niche in the D2C? See, unless there is a differentiation in what you are offering to the consumer, right? So consumer will not come to a website. See, getting a customer to come to a website is very, very difficult, first of all. And then if you're not actually giving some differentiation, or you're not standing out for one thing, then the customer will not actually come back to your store. So that's the motive. And if you're different, then the customer will keep coming in again, but because he has to come through your own website to buy that product. But if you're not differentiated, then the customer might think that you can buy it anywhere else. You can go to an Amazon or a Flipkart, or even go to a nearby grocery store and take the product. And if you see the D2C commerce itself has been growing steadily at 30-40% CAGR on an annual basis, right? So overall, I think with more innovation in terms of product, and a shift in the consumer perspective where the consumer is never shy of trying a new product, will actually help the D2C grow in a long way. And today, consumer actually never picks a brand nowadays. The loyalty is at a as a all-time low, but they pick the product for the visual appeal, and they pick the product for what is there inside and what the communication is there. So a lot of things happen where people read the ingredients, look at the brand philosophy, look at the brand communication, and they are open to try new products. So that's why, holding on to a niche, trying out different products in the same niche, creating different differentiators in terms of packaging, communication, product, and innovating in terms of R&D. We'll always want the customers to try new products. And nowadays, if you see, there's a lot of also in terms of people are going natural, vegan and things like that. So that's where brand like Happilo has grown. We are a brand which focuses on veganism, vegetarianism, and all natural kind of philosophy.
Thank you so much, Vikas. This was insightful. I got to learn a lot many new things.